Welcome to Race 2 from the Destination Speedway, Chang International Speedway. This is the second weekday race, the Wednesday series, reverse grid. And let's run down the grid, shall we? On pole, it'll be Dean Reimers, followed by Mike Magasevich, so an old Golden Bolt front row. Alessio DeBonis representing Spalding GTs on row 2 with Dule Markovic of the Zagato Piston team. Row 3, Wesley Stokes from Team Shashma and Mike Mark from Zagato Piston, the ancient rivals. MMS Performance Engineering's Mike Schneider will start from B7 ahead of Genghis Khan from Golden Bolt. Then it's Martin Lauer of John Slow Racing and championship leader Jason Mons of Zagato Piston on row 5. And the guys who didn't score points in the first race and as a result will be starting where they finished: Stefan Gervais of John Slow Racing, Alan Angel of Fallen Angel Racing, and Benjamin Boyer of BWB Racing, or Motorsports. So let's get this off. And they are off. Let's see if Reimers can keep the lead into turn 1. Martin Lauer going very offline there. Looks like Magasevich has gotten a better start than Reimers, and he's out into the lead. Reimers is still in second place, however. Then, behind Reimers, who's going down the inside of Magasevich, looks like DeBonis will take the third spot. The top two have sprinted away, so Golden Bolt off to a great start here. Magasevich looking to hold the lead into the hairpin, and he does. And someone went very off in the hairpin. Let's have a look. Alessio DeBonis, he had problems in the hairpin in race 1 as well. Let's see what has happened to him here. Looks like he just loses control of the car. Comes off there, and further up, it looked like Dule Markovic got himself into some trouble with Wesley Stokes. Perhaps others involved. Let's have a look at that real quick. So Markovic is trying to go around the outside of Mike Mark for what is third place. Looks like he gets collected on the inside by Stokes. And both of them are off, along with DeBonis having problems. 10 cars get away relatively quickly. Magasevich still in the lead. He's trailed by Reimers. Mike Mark is in third, followed by Mike Schneider, followed by Genghis Khan. Stefan Gervais up from 11th on the grid. Again, I have to emphasize that. 11th on the grid to 6th place. He's claimed 5 spots in a couple of corners, not even a lap. Martin Lauer, Jason Mons are in 7th and 8th. 9th is Alan Angel, and 10th is Benjamin Boyer. Action in the background. Magasevich still leading. Reimers under pressure from Mike Mark. He goes wide. Mark goes through. Mike Schneider loses control, and he did not collect Genghis Khan. Good for him. Khan now up to 4th place. Gervais now 5th. And then in the background you can see Jason Monte move on against Martin Lauer for 7th place. They're behind 6th place Michael Schneider. Rounding off the points is Alan Angel, who's looking to make a move down the inside. Benjamin Boyer looking to move down the inside of Alan Angel. Doesn't work. Dule Markovic going off at the last corner. He's in 11th still. DeBonis and Wesley Stokes are further back. Further up the pecking order, Mike Schneider's 6th place is under siege from Jason Mons. See if Mons can get around him. He's going down the extreme inside, heading into the hairpin. Martin Lauer is riding the draft, though, trying to get past Mons, and maybe also Schneider. Can he do it? And it's going to be Schneider, then Lauer and Mons. Lauer does get the move done, and he's up to 7th place once again. Mons going back on the attack, however. In the background, Benjamin Boyer has taken 9th place off of Alan Angel. Lauer holding on for now. Let's check in on the rest of the field. We've lost Alessio DeBonis. Looks like he's had connection problems. Mike Magasevich still in the lead. Dean Reimers under pressure from Mike Mark in the battle for 2nd place, trying to break up the Golden Bolt 1-2. Or pardon me, Genghis Khan. Khan has gotten past Mike Mark at some point. Khan putting the pressure on, looking to make a move. Looks like Mike Magasevich has a slowdown penalty. He's going to lose 2 spots. Reimers takes the lead, now leading from Khan. Magasevich, nope, it's going to be Mike Mark up into 3rd place. Magasevich went wide and drops back to 4th. Khan looking to go up inside to take the lead. It's going to be the outside, however, in the last corner. I'm not really sure if there's any take. If there's anything on. Reimers breaks early and slides in behind him. Mike Mark goes a little bit wide. This is going to open up the door for Gervais and Magasevich. Martin Lauer in the background. Jason Mons in the background. Michael Schneider in the background. Benjamin Boyer in the background. Dule Markovic is taking 10th place off of Alan Angel, who goes wide at the last turn. So, after all that, humongous action there on the opening lap, opening couple of laps. Genghis Khan is now in the lead from Dean Reimers, Mike Mark, Stefan Gervais has taken 4th place off Magasevich, who has dropped even further back here. Martin Lauer is in 6th place, having taken Michael Schneider. Schneider down to 7th. Mons, Boyer, Markovic are your point sitters. Alan Angel and Wesley Stokes are also still running. We have lost Alessio DeBonis. Heck of action here, as always. The second race delivering high in the early going. We'll see if it settles down. The previous race, race 1, was kind of boring at the front. The podium was largely decided very early in the race, and no one really could make a dent in it. I don't think that this is over yet, especially with Mons and Lauer still making their way through the 6th and 8th place. Mike Magasevich is under pressure from Martin Lauer, Michael Schneider, and Jason Mons are all over the back of him. Lauer is through. Lauer up into 6th place. Schneider's going to go through, I think, as well, into 7th. And Magasevich goes wide, and Mons is going to slip through as well. Magasevich's front row start has turned into a disaster. He's back in 8th place now. Wesley Stokes putting the pressure on Alan Angel for 11th place. Stokes, a championship contender at the start of the season. His run of performance has not been terribly solid here in the back portion of the season. He needs to make him spots quickly. He needs to at least salvage some points out of this. He will take 11th place off of Angel there. Genghis Khan, in the meantime, still leads from Mike Mark, who has gotten past Dean Reimers into 2nd place. Gervais is in 4th place, followed by Lauer, Schneider, and Mons. Magasevich is still keeping up there in 8th place. 9th is Boyer. The debuting Benjamin Boyer didn't have a very good first race, having a much better second race, having worked his way up from 13th on the grid to 9th in the race. That being said, if we're going to talk about working our way up, though, I may have just cursed him because Stefan Gervais appears to have had a problem of some kind heading into the hairpin. So it looks like he lost a spot to Martin Lauer earlier in the lap and then just ends up just absolutely very wide out on the marbles. Drops from 5th place, which he held, down to, looks like he'll save 6th for Mike Schneider. Yeah, but it's still a fantastic race for him. He started P11 and had been up in 4th place. Slips back to 6th now, but that's still +5 on the positions game chart. Genghis Khan is starting to sprint away from it a little bit. He's got what looks like a pace advantage over Mike Mark from Zagato Piston. This would be pretty big for Golden Bolt Racing, which has been slipping back in the team championship for a while. Dean Reimers is still on the podium, but Martin Lauer putting the pressure on him, and I do not see the Australian holding this. And indeed, through goes Lauer, and then contact. It's going to cost him a spot to Jason Mons. Perhaps a little bit of overfighting there from the Australian Dean Reimers. He is still the top-ranking Academy driver in 5th place. That's been his thing. More dominant in the Saturday series than the Wednesday series. He's got Gervais and Schneider on his tail now. Magasevich is back there. They're all Academy, along with Boyer and Markovic. They're battling over the lead in that particular category. Reimer's still hanging on for now. Mike Schneider looking to make a move for 6th place against Stefan Gervais. Let's ride on board with him here as he gets 6th gear in the main straight. He'll come down to 2nd or 1st gear in the hairpin, and he does. Has he made the pass stick? He's not. Gervais is still there. They're heading into the sweeper. This could get very interesting. The sweeper has a lot of different lines into it. It's very high speed. It should favor the McLaren a little bit, and Schneider does squeeze through into 6th place. Stokes is climbing towards the back of Dule Markovic. Mike Mark has fallen way off the back of Genghis Khan. We're talking about Genghis Khan not as a huge factor in this particular race because he did not qualify very well, but he salvaged a third place in race 1, and he's just running away with it right now. Martin Lauer's in third place, followed by Jason Mons. Reimers is promoted back to 5th. Or, pardon me, he was in 5th. He's now got Schneider, who's on a charge, has already passed Gervais this lap. He's going down the inside, but Reimer slams the door shut. Can he hold on the exit? Mike Vagasevich can. He goes off in the background. And it's not over yet, I don't think, here. Schneider has the inside line heading into corner 1, and he's got it! Mike Schneider snaps away 5th place with Dean Reimers. He's now got to worry about Stefan Gervais, so it's not over yet. Gervais is struggling with his hairpin, though. Let's ride on board with him. His hairpin's been in place on a couple of overtakes already, if he can get it right. He's trying to go around the outside. I don't think there's really any purchase there. No, Reimers is going to hold that. Pretty clean through the corner still. Excellent defense from the Australian driver. In the background, Wesley Stokes is hunting down Julian Markovic for a single point for 10th place. Keep in mind, this is the battle for the Academy lead. Not only is it a battle for 5th place, but it's the Academy lead in this race between Gervais, Reimers, and Schneider. Vagasevich and Boyer in the background. Schneider had a problem. He made a mistake. Through goes Reimers. Through goes Gervais. Schneider, can he hold it against Vagasevich, the championship leader of the Academy? Vagasevich makes a huge error. It's going to allow Benjamin Boyer up the inside. Boyer putting the pressure on. He's still got the inside line. Maybe the switchback can work for Vagasevich. No, that McLaren just is going to hit it to the apex and take the position. Good work by Benjamin Boyer. He is up to 8th place. At the front, Genghis Khan's leading from Mike Mark. Martin Lauer and Jason Mons are reeling him in. Let's see here. Wesley Stokes has gotten Dule Markovic at some point. Looks like Markovic may have made a mistake. That is for 10th place. Alan Angel still running in 12th. Laps are running down here for Genghis Khan. Just has to hold it. Mike Mark, his teammate Jason Mons, the second car back there. Martin Lauer in between John Slow Racing. John Slow Racing has been absolutely surging since Martin Lauer returned from his illness. In the background, Dean Reimers got very wide. He has managed to work his way back into 5th place. He's got Michael Schneider, Stefan Gervais, and Ben Boyer feet up behind him. Vagasevich in the background. He goes wide. Wesley Stokes on his tail. Schneider with the move up the inside on Reimers. Doesn't work. Looks like he lost grip. Might fall into the clutches of Stefan Gervais. So Gervais can work through the middle sector here. This is a surprisingly technical sector. Get it very wrong. Gervais getting it a little bit wrong there. Could that put him in the clutches of Ben Boyer? Maybe. Boyer's McLaren has already shown a very good ability to stick to apex. It's great grip in this car. Gervais, you get the feeling Gervais is, Reimers is probably the slowest of this bunch. Started on pole, has drifted back to 5th place. Still having a pretty decent race. Vagasevich has dropped down to 10th place behind Wesley Stokes. So his race has been pretty terrible, from 2nd on the grid back down to 10th. Genghis Khan well ahead. Not really troubled by anything. Martin Lauer. Jason Mons is falling off the battle for 2nd place. Maybe he's worked the tires a little too hard, or he's just kind of seeing what happens in this battle. Michael Schneider. Something has happened to Michael Schneider. I saw in the background that the McLaren of Schneider is way off track. What has happened to Michael Schneider? He's dropped back to 11th place. He was in 6th. Looks like he's lost in turn 1. Let's see if this was assisted in any way. Okay, so he looks like he's going for a dive bomb of Reimers. Clips the curves, clips the rumble strips, and loses it. That's going to about everyone but Alan Angel up a spot. Markovic coming around the outside there in the black and white BMW to take the last points paying position. Khan still in the lead, lap 8 of 10. Mike Mark under pressure from Martin Lauer. Lauer's got speed. We saw him finish second in race 1. Mike Mark was a little more mid-pack. Does have the speed, though. A couple of mistakes put him in the mid-pack. He's trying to take advantage of having started ahead of some of the faster cars. Can he hang on to second place? Because his championship hopes definitely need it. Dean Reimers, in the meantime, still holding on to the top Academy spot. We were talking about Reimers probably being the slowest in this group, but just absolutely fighting with everything he's got to hang on to this 5th place ahead of Stefan Gervais and Ben Boyer, who's up to 7th now after having started 13th. For that matter, Gervais up to 6th place having started 11th, and they're both going to get another spot because it looks like Reimers got wide. He got into Boyer a little bit, but that's Gervais up into 5th. Boyer up into 6th, Reimers down to 7th, Leslie Stokes is 8th, Magasevich is 9th, and in 10th is Dule Markovic. 11th is Mike Schneider, who had a terrible moment, and Alan Angel is bringing up the rear. 2 laps to go for the race leader Genghis Khan, trying to reestablish himself as a championship contender. Had been the leader for a long time, Monza take the championship lead off of him, and now it is time for him to try to get back into it. Mike Mark is still fiercely fighting off Martin Lauer, who would love to get into that 2nd place. Speaking of the championship leader, Jason Mons calmly coasting around in 4th position. Then it's Gervais fighting hard with Boyer, Reimers, and Stokes. Down the inside goes Benjamin Boyer. Benjamin Boyer takes the Academy lead from 13th on the grid to 5th place in the race, a +8 grid position differential for Benjamin Boyer. Boyer's still hanging on there. Wesley Stokes has now become his best friend. So we know Stokes has speed, and he'll put the pressure on. Reimers has slipped all the way back down to, that would be 8th place, ahead of Magasevich's teammate. They started on the front row, so bad day for Colton Bolt in that regard, even if they're having a fantastic day up the front with Genghis Khan. Speaking of Genghis Khan, the white car is heading on to its final lap with the race lead. Martin Lauer looked like he had gotten ahead of Mike Mark for a little bit, but Mark's going to get it back as Lauer goes wide in the last corner. So it's Mark, Lauer, then Mons, who's caught up to this battle again. Benjamin Boyer is having a fantastic 2nd race in the series, hanging on to 5th doggedly ahead of the BMW of Stefan Gervais. This is the battle for the Academy Cup lead in this race. Both of these guys would love to take home the victory. Wesley Stokes in the background in 7th. He would like to get a little higher up. Gervais down the inside of the hairpin. Is there going to be a switchback here from Boyer? It looked like it might have been on there for a bit, but not quite. Gervais hangs on to the position. Reimers is in 8th place. Markovic is 9th. He's done in Magasevich somehow. Let's have a look at how that happened, because it appears to have been quite recently, as the overlay is showing Magasevich in 9th, meaning he crossed the start-finish line in 9th. Or did he? It doesn't look like he did. It looks like he may have just gotten supremely wide. No, it's happened a while ago, so we'll just run forward on this. So Genghis Khan is now on the last lap. He has led most of the race. I believe he took the lap on lap 2 or 3 took the lead. And looks pretty safe. The interest is in this battle for 2nd, and the battle further back for 5th place is still on between Boyer and Gervais. This is a replay of Gervais taking that position as he went down the inside into the hairpin on Benjamin Boyer. Wesley Stokes is keeping company in 7th place, followed by Dean Reimers, Dule Markovic, Mike Magasevich. Michael Schneider has almost fought his way back into the points. He's just got to do in Magasevich, who's having a really hard time. Clearly, either his brakes or his tires are gone, because he is sliding off the track in a number of corners at this point. Khan in the lead. Jason Mons is inherited. Okay, we have to go back and look at this. Mike Mark and Martin Lauer have had a tussle and have handed second place to the championship leader. This is just damning of their chances here. So let's look at this. Let's go back. Let's go back to the corner before. Okay. Let's ride on board with this one with Martin Lauer, as it looks like he may be the offending party. So Mark gets a little bit out of shape there. Lauer goes down the inside here. I don't know. I think that move might not have really been on, although I think Mark made it worse by even swerving into him. Either that or losing control into him, I think, is more likely the case. But terrible action for both of them. So let's sort out what this is looking like, because this is the last lap. Genghis Khan is still in the lead. He's heading to the finish line. Just one corner. We'll stick with him while he crosses the line here. He's going to finish this race in first position, taking a double podium day. Third and a first at a round where he didn't seem really on the pace. He only qualified in fifth position, did a fantastic job. Jason Mons is going to finish in second. Stefan Gervais is going to inherit a podium finish from P11 on the grid. That's right, P11. He climbed 8 positions. Despite the disaster, Mike Mark looks like he's going to take home a 4th place finish ahead of Wesley Stokes. Ben Boyer got shuffled back there a couple of spots there behind Stokes and finished in 6th. Lauer's back to 7th place, followed by Reimers in 8th. 9th is Markovic. And there's a showdown to the line. It's going to be Schneider looking to make a way around Mike Nagasevich, but he will not. He will finish outside of the points in 11th place. Alan Angel will round up the race at 12th, and Alessio De Bonis we lost earlier in the race. The circus heads off to Suzuka for what should be a fantastic round in round 7 of the championship before heading back stateside for rounds then it heads to Europe for Norris Ring, and then stateside for the final 2 rounds at Laguna Seca and Sonoma